the community that faced the most restrictions on their freedoms in the last year were those who made a choice not to be vaccinated. I don't think I've ever experienced a situation in my lifetime where a person was fired from their job, or not allowed to watch their kids play hockey, or not allowed to go visit a loved one in long-term care or hospital, or not allowed to go get on a plane to either go across the country to see family or even travel across the border. So they have been the most discriminated against group that I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. That's a pretty extreme level of discrimination that we have seen. I don't take away any of the discrimination that I've seen in those other groups that you mentioned, but this has been an extraordinary time in the last year in particular. And I want people to know that I find that unacceptable, that we are not going to create a segregated society on the basis of a medical choice.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a monthly with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. And living the true gods, giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. Welcome once again to the Beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, Beatzillapdx. Beatzillapdx officially. And this is the weekly wrap up, of course. And we have a few things to talk about this evening. Uh, One, of course, you see about Carlee Russell, the update with her. Um, Also, the Ebony alert system in California that's coming out, and there's some people who had a lot of problems with the Ebony alert, and it's very interesting. Well, I mean, I guess you have your usual uh, suspects to have problems with something that specifically helps keep Black people safe. And in this case, Black women and children specifically. However, there was something while looking up this situation, I came across a video from a few months ago uh, referring to the same bill. And yeah, we'll get to that. It was very interesting. So we'll go through that. But also, things are changing. There's an update with the stuff that's going on in Chicago. The residents have filed a restraining order to prevent, and it's on temporary hold, so it doesn't mean that it's not they're not gonna sneak them people in there, but right now for the time being, it's on hold. But we'll get to that and more. Of course, we have to talk about Diddy and now what recently came out about Jada and Will Smith. So, with that being said, before we get into that, please hit that like button, hit that share button if you will. Uh, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so at this time and hit the notification bell, hit the word all. That way, you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded. So, with that being said, we are talking, I guess, shall we? We had Carlee Russell. That's one of the situations that's going on. But family, there is a movie already. Y'all see that title under Carlee Russell's picture up here? It literally says, "The nurse that saw the baby on the highway." I mean, that's really a thing. Don't know what to say there, but yeah, that's really a thing. Imagine that. But the first story, which is this. And so let me give y'all the rundown on this particular story here. Let's see. It says ICE admits record 5.7 million invaders in the U.S. Biden wants to provide medical services and housing to all. Do you understand? It says immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, is overseeing 5.7 million migrants in the U.S. who could soon be provided free medical services, food, and even housing by the Biden administration, the Post has learned. And this is New York Post article, by the way, of course. Uh, the record number of non-detained migrants being monitored by the federal agency, 2.14 million, more than before Biden became president, was buried in paperwork detailing its release and reporting management program. The plans for the vendors to join ICE monitoring of migrants through ankle monitors, phone apps, and in-person check-ins. However, the initiative also aims to provide a range of other perks to the non-citizens on the taxpayer's dime. The program would cost billions and effectively be a welfare program for non-detained migrants awaiting court dates, former ICE Director Tom Homan told the Post. Wow. Let's see. The RRM is just a push by the open border advocates to provide welfare benefits to 6 million people. Wow, the former ICE director continued. Down here. It says the RRM is anticipated to, quote, replace all of the ICE non-detained programs, unquote, and would apply to the entire non-detained docket. Wow. A question and answer or answer form ICE published in September reads, clarifying the current non-detained docket is 5.7 million. Wow. That is staggering. Those held in ICE detention for processing at the border or in facilities awaiting deportation are not included in the 5.7 million figure. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Let's see. The services for all RRM participants would include legal assistance, psychological services, therapeutic services, medical services, food and clothing banks, housing, public transportation information, parental information, education information, and repatriation and reintegration services, according to the RFI form published August 17th. These services are designed to increase participant compliance with immigration obligations through information stabilization and support. Services will be individualized to each participant's needs and may range from basic referrals to incentive direct assistance. Wow. This now just to stop for a second and understand how detailed this plan is and how involving this plan is. So they can sit up here and have think tanks to figure out how to get these folks set up. So that was important to do, but can't figure out any other crisis going on right here at home. That's insane. These services, we got that. Horman criticized the program for providing legal assistance to migrants who crossed over the border, of course, illegally. They are going to give legal assistance to illegal aliens at the taxpayer's expense to fight the government, he said. All the services combined are a massive giveaway that are going to cost billions of dollars. Amazing. And this is Joe Biden for you. The number of illegals in the country under ICE monitoring stood at 3.26 million in the fiscal year 2020 and had exploded to 4.7 million by fiscal year of 2022, according to ICE records. So as soon as Joe Biden got in office, the border started getting overran. That's what you're hearing. When migrants are admitted to the U.S. to pursue asylum claims, most have to check in with ICE on a regular basis at the office in the area where they are staying. Others have ankle monitors or have to check in via an app or facial recognition. In 2021, each case manager had an average of 125 people in the scheme to monitor, according to the fact sheet produced by the agency. In August, ICE sent out a request for information form to the vendors to gauge their interest in participating in the government-funded program. The Biden administration is in the planning phase and has not ruled out or not has rolled out the RRM, but plans to send out requests for proposal to vendors in fiscal year 2024. Q&A forum reads. So again, this plan, he's trying to get this to have them here long term. So see what Joe Biden is trying to run on. That's why they're trying to get voting rights for illegals. It's finishing off to say RRM is intended to replace its precursor alternatives to detention, which was released in 2004, according to the RFI form. The new Biden initiative would require additional funding beyond what is currently allocated for ATD, and Q&A forum says the only 194,632 migrants, 1,000 rather, so 194,632 migrants are being tracked by GPS or other technology in the ATD program. ICE estimates in the fiscal year 2023, meaning millions of migrants are roaming the country untracked. Millions of illegal border crossers are running around unchecked. You don't know what these people have brought with them. If they brought diseases, if some of their animals have brought diseases. You know, this is a very real thing. That's just a normal health concern. Public health concern. Goes on. U.S. Customs and Border Protection has encountered a record-breaking number of migrants during Biden's presidency. In fiscal year 2022, the number of encounters topped 2.76 million, according to the agency data. The government previously admitted to losing track of 177,000 migrants after they were released into the U.S., according to the Department of Homeland Security report. ICE did not respond to an inquiry from the Post at the time of publication, and this was filed 10/12/23. So there is that. So just, right there for the people who, man, y'all sound crazy. We gotta vote for Joe Biden. At the end of the day, this is a tactic that is absolutely anti-Black at its core. It seeks to literally get away from anything having to do with doing anything for Black folks. That's why you flood the zone, and you seeing all of this attention going to Israel right now. Make no mistake, you're seeing that for a reason. What is going on here? I am seeing some very disturbing things on my timeline here. I'm confused at what I'm seeing, but all right. Super weird things going on, and you're seeing Oprah's face in the mix, by the way. Anyway, we're going to keep it pushing. Let's see, where shall we go next? Oh, another thing, sidebar, with the election and whatnot coming up, they're really trying to pump up Hakeem Jeffries. So right now, they're trying to talk about and float the idea, for whatever reason, of Hakeem Jeffries becoming House Speaker, which doesn't really make any sense because the majority of the House goes to the majority of the seats. So that's the Republicans. You are literally seeing Democrats out here flip. Y'all just need to go ahead and give it over to Hakeem Jeffries. What I don't understand with that is how would that be a win for the Democrats? Now, see, here's another way you could look at it, is that there's some kind of I guess, you could say hidden agenda, possibly. One could say, because at the end of the day, if, like we say, both sides are just two wings of the same bird, well, then you're getting one side to do your dirty work, as always. See, the reason that they don't like Donald Trump is not because they feel he's racist, it's that he does what he wants to do. And so that's where they have their biggest conflict there. Now, because there might be something inadvertently that he would do that might benefit black folks. The people at the DNC are very, I guess you could say, racially sensitive to anything that might reflect helping black America, especially foundational black Americans. So, you just got to understand what you're dealing with. They're already hyper vigilant. And, that is what that is. Let's see. I got this video on here. No, I don't. Bear with me one second. But I wanted to, I guess, let's go to Chicago first. I don't know why I have that. I'm supposed to have something else right there. Bear with me one second. Getting something in here. And boy, we got to talk about good old P. Diddy situation, man. That is not sounding good. That is not sounding good at all. Oh, however, let me see what this is. Hold on. There is something that. Did I not download that? Oh, there it is. There it is. Hold on. Something that, that some people may believe in prophecies and some people may not. You don't have to be religious. But if you are and believe in biblical prophecies, or there's some things that was written at one point in time that kind of was told to be a marker of time or a time indicator of where the world was at the moment. And this just happened, I believe, in Israel like a month ago. Check this out.
Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders.
I got music. Hold on. Can't do that. Let me get this in here this way, so I'll play it without the music. I ain't trying to get hit with that. Because that's exactly what they gonna do. Oh, you played a second and we heard a tit snippet of it. Yes, okay. Let me do this. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Yeah, so there's been a red heifer. Yeah, look at that. Little red heifer born. Now, the interesting thing about this is they said that it happens every 2,000 years. So that's just interesting. That's just interesting, to say the least. But nonetheless, you're that's what you're seeing. Shout out Don Luker. Or Dom Luker. Shout out Dom Luker. Ooh. Mm. So, people might believe in stuff like that or might not. And that either or is fine by me. Because, you don't have to believe what I believe. That's to each his own. But one thing we do have to do is understand we have a code to keep if we want to at least uh, find ourselves in a better position. Because faith without works is dead. So always remember that. Now, let me see where I want to go here. Okay, so we're gonna go to Chicago. And shout out to all of y'all that have been out there, like really, really standing up against these folks out there. And for y'all who have got your restraining order, again, shout out to y'all. The fight obviously continues, but this is a step in the right direction.
Updating you now, frustration and confusion in one Chicago community tonight. They say a plan to move migrants into a local park would disrupt their neighborhood and the park that they rely on. NBC5's Christian Farr spoke to people there today.
I want you to know that we are still fighting.
Austin residents have now filed a temporary restraining order against the city to stop any use of the Odmonson Fieldhouse as a migrant shelter.
Austin has the highest crime rate. We deserve better, and we will say no.
That's even though the city has backed off plans to use the Park District building for that purpose. Attorney Deidre Bauman filed the injunction on behalf of some Austin residents who say the park and field house are for the community.
There are hundreds of kids attending basketball camp, football, in various classes. Elderly depend on this park.
Residents say they had already started to file for an injunction before the city considered a nearby alternative site in Austin to house migrants. City officials say they are reviewing the complaint but had no other comment. Residents became concerned this morning when someone delivered portable restrooms to the park.
It seemed like they're going on with their plan anyway, unless it's a lack of communication.
Instead of using the Odmonson Fieldhouse, the city is considering using a privately owned building at 1900 North Austin as a migrant shelter. 29th Ward Alderman Chris Taliaferro says this option could keep residents from being locked out of the Fieldhouse.
Of course, there's going to still be residents that are opposed to it, but it is better than closing a resource in a divested community.
The attorney representing those residents says that she is waiting for a judge to make a decision on how they will proceed with the injunction request. Outside of Amundsen Park, Christian Farr, NBC5 News.
And that's how Joe Biden shows you how he has black people's backs. By flooding your neighborhoods and then forcing them in your neighborhood. And understand, Dr. Clark got it right so many years ago. Our belief in justice for all people, we fall into their traps. And one of those traps is mostly Hispanics. They watch and see you fight for something. The minute you win, they come in and ask for half of it. And they wasn't in the fight to begin with. A lot of times, they get it. Especially the Puerto Ricans. They wasn't near the fight. They want you to give them half of your power. Sound familiar? They want parity because we have not learned to practice the selfishness of survival. That's how they can sneak this foolishness over them. And you'll call it a win. It's a victory. We've done something. Yay. Well, there is something that did actually happen on the good side of things. And that is, oops, wrong picture. The Ebony alert. The Ebony alert system, which it was proposed in California a while ago, but it recently now has became law. So now they have a actual bill that focuses specifically on missing Black women. You always know that there's people like, well, what about Black women? What about Black women? What about Black women? You left Black women out. Well, Black women, then Black women's right here. So what about Black women? Black women. And then, it's always that line, I don't see anything specifically here for Black women. Well, a plan for Black America includes women too. I just think there should be something specifically. Remember all of that from your cocktail with Queens over on Fox Soul. Yeah, well, they've had something to say about this as well. And so, needless to say, the suspected white supremacists, they were the ones, they were really upset about this. I think I want to go through and read some of the comments on Twitter on the post of the Ebony alert, because you guys got to just see the nature of folk. So waiting on this to get on in here, and while I am doing that, okay. Oh, I didn't realize it was that doggone long. Okay. Hold on. Let me do it this way. Let's do this. Okay, I'll share it this way. Hold on. Come on now. All right, there we go. And this, this is a good thing. I'm really surprised at actually, I guess I probably should not be surprised at Vivica Fox and Lisa Ray. But, I guess, my bad. There we go.
A new bill proposed last month in the California State Senate aims to create what's called an Ebony alert system. This is to help find missing Black women and girls. The system would be similar to the Amber Silver alerts already used in this state. This is some 30% of missing women in 2020 were Black, despite making up less than 15% of the general female population. State Senator from Los Angeles, Stephen Bradford, who serves as vice chair of the California Legislative Black Caucus, introduced the Ebony Alert legislation, and you see him there. He joins me now with more. Senator Bradford, thanks so much for your time tonight. My first question is simply, why does California need this?
I think evidence has shown that African-American young girls and women are ignored. The resources are not committed to the same level as their counterparts when they come up missing, be it young women from 12 to 25. And many times you never hear anything about that, be it in the media, and the law enforcement doesn't commit to the same level of resources. So this is based on the Amber Alert, a little more broadly designed to look for young African Americans from 12 to 25 who come up missing, and making sure that they come home safely just like anyone else.
Yeah, because CHP is in charge of activating the Amber Alerts. You have to meet a certain criteria for one of these alerts to, in fact, be activated. Some of the criteria include that an abduction has to have been occurred. You can be taken by someone you know, of course, a guardian. So do you have the same criteria? Here's, as we look at the guidelines for issuing an Amber Alert, would the Ebony Alert follow these same criteria?
Very much so, but a little broader. But again, a lot of times when African-American young kids are missing, they're listed as runaways. And we want to make sure that we focus the priority as the same as someone else who disappears, even when you're having individuals who are sex trafficked. These young African-American women are listed as juvenile prostitution. And as you know, anyone under 18 can't consent to, sex for pay. So they should be listed as sex traffickers, as being sex trafficked as well. So we want to make sure that the same criteria that applies to Amber Alerts are committed and dedicated to African-American young girls and women. You have been a part of the community for a very long time. You've been a politician for a long time. Why now? I think we have seen firsthand the number of African-American women and people of color who just no one ever sees their faces, their stories on the news. You never see. When's the last time you've driven on the freeway and you saw an Amber Alert saying there's a missing African-American young woman or girl? But we've all known about the Gabby Petitos of the world, or even the Sherry Patinas, who staged their own disappearance. And it was not only a statewide, but a nationwide search for this individual. We want the same level of resources and commitment by not only the media, but law enforcement to be committed to these African-American young women, again, from the age 12 to 25.
You introduced this last month, I believe, in the state Senate. Support? Are you seeing warm reception to this?
Yeah, we had our first committee hearing yesterday in public safety, and it went out.
It's a law now.
Our committee went down a single no vote, and now we're on to appropriations. Hopefully, we'll have the same success, and then on to the Senate floor and on to the Assembly on the other side of the House. So I'm excited. We've got a lot of co-authors on this as well, because this is critically important, and we want to make sure that, again, the same level of attention and resources are dedicated to these women of color, African-American women of color.
All right, State Senator Stephen Bradford, he is a man behind the new legislation being proposed, the Ebony Alert, and we thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for your interest. This is an important issue.
All right. Oh, Lord. So, there's, like I said, the usual suspects of individuals who are upset that there is such a thing that, oh my goodness, it's so racist. Here in between, I'm just gonna read. Here's some comments off of Twitter. One says, and this is, now I won't even give you your name, no credit. But she has an American and a British flag intertwined in her profile picture. But she says, another way one of our so-called leaders has in dividing our country by either race, politics, sexuality, or religion. And what about missing black men? A missing person is just that, whatever their color. Well, I'm so sure that they're normally concerned about black men's welfare. I'm sure that's probably the case, right? Lord. All right. So, thought I had another. There should be another video about this. I might have to. Let's see. Where is that at? Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Let me do this because it's now a law. But at the time, this is what he was saying, or so you heard that's the dude who brought this law up. The response from the cocktails with the Queens crowd. Let's see. Let me get this because I found this to be a little interesting. So we might have to do a little starting and stopping on this one because I'm a little confused about where we're going here. Let's see, is this where I want? There we go. All right, let's get this cracking. Let's go over here. Sounds good. All right.
All right, y'all. A California lawmaker is receiving backlash after proposing an Ebony alert statewide system to help notify people if a Black child or a Black woman goes missing in California. How do y'all feel about that bill? Let's go to you first, Vivica. What do you think?
You know, I live in the state of California. It's an Amber Alert. Stop.
I would just wonder. Of course, we know it's an Amber Alert. But see, just like the brother already gave his explanation for why there should be a law, is because, like, there's a sister that just recently got found hanging from a tree. What happens when they find that all of a sudden Black folks are getting a kick out of hanging themselves? No. And so you have a whole anti-lynching bill that never gets touched when you see someone lynched because you'll say, oh, well, they did it to themselves. So there's a built-in mechanism to make it a nothing burger to begin with. But nonetheless, you might get people say, oh, but yeah, that's what he did for us. This is an Amber Alert. Yeah, I guess you're right. It is an Amber Alert, true indeed. But with that being said, it's an Amber Alert, yes. But it makes sure that it puts a targeted focus and energy and resources into finding Black missing people. It's just an Amber Alert. It's going to be everybody. Yeah, that's not what they actually said.
Stop trying to just come up with stuff just to clickbait. It's an Amber Alert. It don't matter if she's white, Black, Mexican, Asian. We Rainbow Coalition out in California. So stop it. That was dumb. And you're oh, and of course, oh no, it's not a brother that came up with it.
I get that he's trying to say, hey, we matter too, because there's a lot of Black children and women, especially, that go missing. So I understand being, okay, we need a special thing. But my thing in this racist ass country is if you say, attention, it's a Black kid, they might be like, we good. And why don't they didn't call Amber Alert a white, they didn't call it a.
What kind of logic is that? In this racist country, they'll see it's a Black kid and be like, oh, we good. Here's one good thing to know. An Amber Alert for a Black person, if you have community groups that are out here in these church groups that claim to be for the better good of the Black community, then I would think that it would be beneficial, even if you're not even looking to law enforcement. What about the people? Don't you think they would want to know that a Black person is missing, and then they could look out for whoever so they could be recovered unharmed? And I mean, this is what I'm like, I don't even understand their stance here. You railing against this? And again, this is a Black man doing something that specifically goes into the protection of Black women. And this is the response. And whatever.
A snow alert. They didn't call it an Ice Princess Alert. They didn't call it a
Becky Alert.
A beige alert. They didn't call it, you know what I'm saying? Off-white alert. Why we gotta be a Black alert? Ebony alert. I don't know, man.
Well, here's another perspective. Here's another perspective. So I was reading into it because I wanted to kind of, get more tea. Right. And so I know in the DC area especially, there have been a lot, and really everywhere, there have been a lot of Black women missing and no one does anything about it. And what happens is people have been reporting them. They're not reporting them missing in terms of the police statement. They're saying that they've run away. So if someone is,
we've heard that story plenty too. So they'll say they're runaways. They're runaways, to not put any resources into finding these children. So that's not unheard of. It's so again, like I said, I'm really confused at the two initial reactions to such a law. I'm really confused about that.
Thought to have run away, nobody looks for them. So the whole point of an Ebony Amber Alert, which is kind of bananas the name, but the whole point is to kind of put focus on Black girls that have been missing, because there have been more Black girls that have been missing that have not been found. So I understand what he's trying to do. I don't really like the name of it, but I do understand, what he's trying to do. It's a nice gesture.
But with such a racist country and racist police, like racists have infiltrated the police department, my fear would be when an Ebony Alert goes up, they'll ignore it more than they already do. Like they're not gonna be like, oh, we got a Black girl, let's give it special treatment. They get our assistance, all of them, but there's a lot. I just feel they'd be like,
Amber Alerts are not just going out to police. It's almost like these people are in such a bubble that they just neglect the fact that people exist. The average everyday person that says, I just want to do good and make sure I see somebody safe. That thought is completely missing these people. That's what's so crazy here. I mean, they're like, oh, hell, these racist cops. I mean, there's so many racist cops that, what are they gonna do? I mean, they're racist cops. Yeah, man, we understand. Racist cops exist. Got it. But here's the problem. The people exist as well. And so the people might help if they are informed, which is the purpose of an Amber Alert. So to put some focus in and making sure that every Black kid or Black girl is not a runaway. I mean, I don't see the problem in it, but I'm like, oh man, this is just baffling to me.
I'm gonna go get some donuts.
I don't like the division that it says, because the division is like, all women, anybody that's missing, hell, is important.
Wait a minute. Says the same women who were up there badgering Ice Cube about his plan for Black America. She just got done saying but what is the division? Well, he said a plan for Black America. There's no division in Black in that. And what did y'all do? I don't see anything about the women. And so you immediately brought the division, and then gonna say, well, I don't like bringing all that division. If you don't cut it out, that is a hypocrite if you have ever seen one. I mean, good grief. We have literally witnessed that. Wow. Oh, Lord.
Exactly. As I said, an Amber Alert.
Yeah.
I get it, but at least now if you have an Ebony Alert, then whether it's racist people or not, it will be, documented that a Black woman is missing this time. And so even if racists don't want to find them, At least now somebody will have alert to find them.
Thank you.
It is very divisive. I get it. It's giving that, but we're already segregated, low key,
good grief.
mentally and emotionally. So
Well, let's don't play into it though.
Ebony
I
alert.
mean, if
Get the
anybody
hell out of
should,
here.
we can.
They gonna ignore.
Let's not play into it though. What are you talking about? Every one of y'all up there. Every last one of y'all. Oh, and then you kept trying to put Trump support on Ice Cube when he never said he was supporting Trump. He was doing something for black folks that was benefiting black folks, and y'all did everything within your power to just keep moving the conversation and trying to make him a Trump supporter, making it about Democrats versus Trump, and Trump is against black people, and somehow if we give him 4 more years, I mean, I can agree that Trump's an anti-black bigot. But the whole, it's all going to, the world's going to end, and if we give this dude 4 more years. Well, you are witnessing a super disaster going on right here, and a crisis on all fronts, strikes every other day, right here in the good old land of America. And then we've had so many of our people out here trying to be divisive, especially based on gender. And after all of that, Lisa Ray literally says, let's not feed or play into that. You are a charlatan, ma'am.
Ignore the Ebony alert. That's like they already do.
Oh, Lord. They're just gonna ignore it. Okay. I mean, and yeah, I'm sure that's true. But at the same time, you don't deprive other black folks from helping black folks and finding black folks safe. That should only make sense. It doesn't to her, clearly. I mean, good Lord. All right, let me get this over here. And so, yeah, shout out to the Ebony alert. Now, there's a lot of butthurt suspected white supremacists out there as well who are talking about what's next. They, them, and non-binary alerts. Wow. Oh, yeah. So Diddy is trending. Diddy is trending right now. You know, I guess we can get to Diddy. I guess we need to get to Diddy. But first, no, before we get to Diddy, the better segue is Carlee Russell. Oh, my Lord. Carlee Russell. She was charged. And she was convicted today, actually. Let's see. Carlee Russell. Yeah, she was convicted today. And good. Y'all remember, though, I did my broadcast on her, and I actually showed you that, showed you her parents. And, you know, their interview on, what was it, Good Morning America? And I just told you something felt off with the mama. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was just really weird. Because I, and not saying I can't say that her mom had any dealings with uh with what her daughter did, but something that, if y'all remember, she came out and was like, don't jump to conclusions. And you remember that? She's like, oh, don't jump to conclusions and speculations and some of the sort. And yeah, like, oh, so, well, how does she show up? So they convicted Carlee Russell. She got a year in jail. She's gonna have to pay some fines. Let's see. Let me find the news. The one thing that is so funny though about this is I think it's Tubi. Tubi's a beast. How they got a movie about Carlee Russell already? They call her like Marley Wilson. Oh my Lord. Do I have that? Hold on. Where is that at? Wait a minute. The title is what is so crazy. It's like the nurse, the nurse that saw the child on the side of the road. Wait. This is insane. Oh, let me show y'all this. So, family, this is the story. The nurse that saw the baby on the highway, based off of fake events. Oh, that's funny. Based off of fake events? Oh, Lord. So, needless to say, and I guess you could, you can get this movie on Prime, on Amazon Prime. The nurse that saw the baby on the highway. I don't even know what to say about that. That is just crazy. Oh man. So yes, indeed. Carlee Russell is looking like she's gonna do some time. And rightfully doggone so. And at the same time, when you having these Ebony alerts, it's very odd timing. Just 1 second here. What's this? Okay, no, I don't need that. So it's how ironic though. You have this woman. Also, yeah, what's up with the med students and the doctors or nurses? Or she didn't have a septum ring, but yeah, she kind of looks a little disturbed. And to do something like this says that it says as much. You know, it's good grief. You want to fake kidnap yourself? Like, what are you going through? And don't speculate. I'll never forget. Like that's like speculate. Like, why will a person be speculating? And then as it comes out, it's a hoax. the boyfriend, he looks stupid, you know, because he played himself. So let's see. Let me go back up here. I want to find these videos here. Okay, hold on. Let me share this too. Okay. Oh, hold on. Get on in here. Go. Wait a minute. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Oh, what's happening here? Bear with me 1 second. Okay, is this on the screen there? There we go. All right. Good Lord. I don't know what. So this is them walking into the courthouse. Now all of a sudden they're gonna play. Oh, Lord. There was some reporter out there too as well. That was like he was face like, did you know? Did you help her? Did you help her? Did you help her? Can you say? Did you help her? Badgering the
Carlee,
lawyer.
why did you lie? Why did you lie to the public? Why did you lie to the public, Carlee? Where were you for those 49 hours, Carlee? Carlee, where were you for those 49 hours? Do you have anything to say to the community for lying to the community? Everyone was out there searching for you, Carlee. Do you have anything to say? Mr. and Mrs. Russell, anything to say? Why did you lie on national TV? Why did you lie on national TV? Anything to say, Carlee?
Clearly not. Mm. Yeah, so that's them going in. And like I said, I don't know who this dude was. That Carlee, why did you lie to the people? Why did you lie, Carlee? Tell me now. Now that was funny. Oh, that was funny. Oh, Lordy me. Carlee Russell. And then all of this just to, for it to just blow up like this. Damn. Oh, and they already, they got the new, here we go. They got the new memes already popping. And, who knows? There's probably going to be a new movie. That's crazy, though, that this woman literally went through the trouble of kidnapping herself. Well, of course, faking her kidnapping. I guess she thought it was going to get her boyfriend's attention or whatnot. I mean, I guess, of course, it would get everybody. But, wow. I mean, this speaks to, a larger issue with the woman. because you do this to try to keep a boyfriend. Oh Lord, what is this? Uh-oh. Now let's all right, here's another video here on Twitter. Wait a minute, let me pause it. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just go back here. So first, let me get this in here. Not sure. Mrs. What It Do Ya? Mrs. What It Do Ya? So she did a update on the boyfriend, I guess. So let's hear what's going on here.
Okay, y'all, I am back with another update, and this one technically isn't about the case, but a lot of you had asked if I'd seen the alleged boyfriend that Carlee was doing all this because of, and I have, and I wanted to show you who he was in case you haven't seen him. Okay, so drum roll, please. Bam! T-Sims28 on Instagram, and as far as I know, as recently as July 4th, he and Carlee an item. I do not have clarification or any answers as to if the rumors are true that he cheated on her or she did all this to get him back, but you all have been asking, had I seen him?
I don't know why it's freezing now. Just playing.
For those who hadn't, I wanted to share. So I'll share some more pictures of him as well. Here is another example. One more photo for the road. And because I like to give all the information I can, here's a video of him, and I have one more for you ladies. And so there
It would look like he was living his single life. Good for him. Avoid nutty chicks like that without stage their own kidnapping, trying to keep you around. And truth be told, just based off of the on the surface, you probably wasn't the only one or even main one. I'm just help you out there. Now she's gonna do a year. She's gonna do a year now. Because it was worth it to do that silly madness. So yeah, what is this? Okay. So Atlanta Black Star has actually a piece on it. The headline says needs to be some sort of enhancement. Police chief calls for harsher penalty for Carlee Russell after judge finds her guilty of faking abduction. Sentences her to 1 year in jail. So it says an Alabama judge has found Carlee Russell, a 26-year-old woman who faked her abduction on July 13th, guilty of fraud. Some people are divided on her punishment, with her defense team looking to take her case to trial. The young woman stood before the municipal judge Brad Bishop in a Hoover Municipal Court on Wednesday, October 11th, and entered a not guilty plea to the charges of false reporting to law enforcement authorities and falsely reporting an incident around 2:14 p.m. Bishop reviewed the state prosecution's recommendations and sentenced her to 1 year in jail and ordered her to pay $17,874 in restitution and 2 fines valued at $831 each. In Alabama, there are no jury trials in municipal courts, but if an offense can lead to jail time, a defendant can have the case tried at a higher level. Let's see. Hoover Police Chief Nick Durres said he believed Russell should have faced more severe charges because of the panic her allegations caused. It's the same as someone who goes out and maybe shoplifts less than $500 worth of merchandise. It's the same penalty. Wow. And I just think that there needs to be some sort of enhancement when you're talking about being kidnapped and being a victim of a serious crime. Let's see. The rest of the department was on high alert after the woman filed a false police report claiming she saw a child on I-459 and tried to help before a stranger abducted her. Russell convinced law enforcement, family, and friends that she was kidnapped, only to return home on July 15th. After days of searching and fear in the community, Russell admitted it was all a lie. The judge noted that Russell may want to appeal his ruling to a circuit court. If they take her case, she will have the opportunity for a trial by jury. There's no need for a trial here, knowing their position. We've stipulated and appealed the case, and it will start anew in the Bessemer Circuit Court, Attorney Emory Anthony said to AL.com reporter after Wednesday's hearing, protesting the judge's decision and to have her jail time for a Class A misdemeanor. The lawyer also noted that his client has never been in trouble with the law before, so her penalty should not be so severe. If you can find somewhere someone was in jail for that, bring the file to me and I'll look at it, he said. Generally, they're not put in jail. In addition to being concerned about the verdict, Russell's legal team is also worried about Russell's psychological well-being, acknowledging she was nervous to go before the judge. He told the Alabama newspaper outlet he didn't want her to have a breakdown. So his team is handling her with kid gloves and making sure her mental state is just fine. So really, I mean, what this is about, I mean, not that it's about, but it seems to me like y'all are really trying to downplay, but it's right there in y'all face. This woman has mental issues. And you're trying to do everything in your power not to acknowledge that elephant that's in the room. This woman clearly has a unstable issue, but nonetheless, that's about all I need to hit on that. Wow. Lord. So that's what's going on there. But the other thing that's going on today, P. Diddy, and this is a story that is now becoming way more, I guess, like something. You understand what I'm saying? It's definitely developing way more into something than not before. And so yeah, let me get this audio up in here, because this beast. And they're saying, you know, this Keefe D, he's the one who was arrested, claiming that he was there, and he's the uncle of Orlando Anderson, who is reported to have been the guy. So let's add this to the stage. And I'm gonna let this one. I'm gonna take a listen to this because this is very damning, very very damning information. Hold on. So wait a minute. Let me get this on up here real quick. Okay, just 1 second. Just 1 second. All right. Okay, hold on.
On all four of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those four is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah, Anaheim.
After a concert in Anaheim, Keefe D claims that he attended a party with Puffy in a hotel suite. So it's Harrell, you, Puffy, Zip, and a bunch of Southsiders. And what Puffy makes kind of an announcement?
Yeah, that was stupid as hell too, you know.
What did you actually hear? What was the words? If the best you can remember what he says.
Shit, he said he'd give us anything for them dudes, you know? Yeah.
He'll give you anything for these guys' head?
Yeah, he said it in front of all the people. I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying?
In Anaheim?
Yeah. Whole home full of Crips.
So this is after Jake got killed. So he was on point. He was worried about something happening.
Yeah.
She got miles off about a bunch of different stuff. So he was scared.
He was scared to death. Yeah.
Okay. A few months later at Greenblatt's Deli, Keefe D claimed that Puffy Combs furthered the solicitation. What happened that made it something other than just him frustrated and boasting? Now, I don't have to give you guys anything. I mean, what made it a specific, like, hey, I'm serious. I want you guys to kill these guys. I mean,
When he told me the greenback.
How's it go? How's the conversation go? I mean, okay, listen, I'll do it, but I need $500,000, or I've got somebody who will do it, but I need $300,000. I mean, we need really specific details regarding that.
Yeah, we wanted $1 million.
You said you walked downstairs. Did he say, come meet me downstairs?
Yeah, he said, come on downstairs and talk to me.
He tells you, seriously, man, I need to get rid of these guys. And he's looking at you in the eyes and he's like scared.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, the specific reason he asked you to come downstairs and talk to him was about that thing, not about liquor or anything. It was about that. Okay. You tell him we'll do it for $1 million, and he's like, okay, I'll do it for $1 million. He agrees. You shake on it or something like that.
Yeah.
What happened?
Gentlemen, he like, man, we'll wipe the ass out quick. You know, it's nothing.
Who brought up the amount of $1 million?
Shit, he did.
Puffy did?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it you?
No, it wasn't me. $1 million out there. Yeah, they put 50. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
So he brought up the $1 million.
Yeah. Them project dudes will kill your ass for $1,500. You know what I'm saying? Shit. We went to eat. We was eating. Man, they came and said, "You just beat up Lane." And we was in a hotel. Yeah, at the MGM and the restaurant. There was a few New Yorkers though with them. Like, man, y'all need some help. We got this.
That's what they said?
You guys aren't out in Vegas then with that intention. That's not why you're in Vegas.
We've been going to the fight since Pat days, the 80s.
So y'all geared up to go to Vegas and y'all was going anyway. Not even knowing who else was going to be down there. Not knowing if Pac and shit was going to be down there.
We ain't had no pistol. We ain't had no pistols down there and shit. It was right there. It's perfect out pretty, baby.
That was Zip talking?
Yeah.
Because of what happened with
Yeah. He told me in the lobby that he had some Jimmys.
Some what?
He had a Jimmy in the Benz. He had a little secret compartment. Thing popped out. Popped up.
In the armrest?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, here's the problem. The authorities saw it fit to arrest this guy. in connection with this crime that he's talking about. So they feel that it is pretty legitimate what he is saying. That ain't good for P. Diddy, or who is now going by Love. So, there's that problem. So as it turns out, and for those of you who don't remember, back in the day, they definitely were suggesting that, Bad Boy had something to do with Tupac's, well, number one, for the first shooting. And then when Tupac passed, then, they definitely were getting blamed for him getting shot the second time. So, now you're hearing a lot of these older interviews, well, or not older interviews, but these people who are around these guys, they're interviewing now. And, man, some of the things that are being said these days, there's a lot of connections that we didn't know back in the day that now are connections that are making sense. And that's not gonna, in I think anybody's view, it's not looking very well for Sean P. Diddy Combs. And it's definitely looking like he had something to do with the demise of Brother Tupac Shakur. So, and you're listening to this guy who is saying that he's in the car that carried out that deed. Now, some people also they also say out there that maybe he's fingering his nephew, Orlando Anderson, as being the shooter because he, in fact, was the shooter. But see, here's the one thing that he did do that he told on himself. He most definitely made himself an accessory. Because he put himself in the car. No one forced him. He literally did that himself. Oh, yeah, we was there. I was there. Wow. And then now you hearing about all the different meeting spots. That's a very specific story. So, I mean, I guess it's just all on the way that you look at things. But, yikes. Just not looking good for old Diddy. Not looking good at all. Oh, Lord. So, in the ever continuing world of insanity, you have Tupac about to get, well, what appears that he might actually get justice. Diddy might get served up what he wants, but the ironic thing about that is the hip hop part, the music part, shall we say. Because they just honored this cat. Like, they just gave this dude a Lifetime Achievement Award. And right now, like, and as he's using this word love, like, dude, are you serious? And at the same time, you're having this talk, and everybody's up in arms. You got Brother Dwan B coming out with with his documentary. You got brother Tariq Nasheed coming out with his documentary, setting the record straight on hip hop. And at the same time, we have stuff like this going on around, and there's nobody putting a firm word out here against it. So what I would say is, for your all of your celebrity and how you see these celebrities, always remember what they don't do. They're not checking this guy.
20 black dudes, and it'd be me, a little blonde kid, green-eyed kid, thinking he tough, talking wild shit at the battle, just battling everybody. And you know, we was in the streets hard. You know, I was like one of the most respected, feared gangster niggas in the streets. I knew that Latinos had a little bit more to say than Rico Suave or Mellow Mayonnaise. God bless them. But I know there was niggas out there getting money like me who wanted to hear that real nigga shit, even though we Latinos. So I kind of knew, like, when I came out, I was like, you know, I knew it was gonna be like this energy to where niggas could relate. And in the future as well, like, you know, bringing somebody like Big Pun in the game, you know, it gave Latinos so much a sense of pride. And it's hard because people don't see it like that, because in a weird way, we were too black for pure Latino. Like, there's some pure Latinos that if you ain't rapping in Spanish or they ain't fucking with you, right? We too black for them. And then we was too Latinos for some black people in, like, let's just say Mississippi or some shit. We was like mutts in the game. And we knew that. So we just played opposition and said, yo, you know what? We making music for everybody. We making great music, and we gonna represent the Latinos. But
And I guess so. You played your position. So now it is time to rewrite history and rewrite your position in it. So that's one of the things we're seeing out of fellas like Fat Joe, who has been on a blocking spree here lately because, you know, he sucks. He's jumped out the window and tried to take on Black America. Because that's all that is. You're trying to take on Black America. And you probably shouldn't do that. And yes, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, are the authors of hip hop, funk, R&B, gospel. There is no outside influence involved in any of that. I don't know where that comes from, and it is a strong-jawed lie. It is a strong-jawed lie. Okay, we're ready to go here, though. Oh, but you know what's funny? Let me just play you this clip, because this is funny. As we're talking about Diddy and hip-hop and all of the madness that's going on around all of those entertainers. And that's how they should be looked at, as entertainers. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't overhype what they do, because you might be upset.
Just asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to kill Pac? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah. No, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Interesting body language. Very interesting body language. Let's take another look at that. I'm just playing it without the sound. I just want you to, you know, you're not really seeing the confidence that you're used to seeing. I mean, he's jittery. Interesting. That is very interesting. I mean, the dude is jittery. I don't know what's cool about that. But nonetheless. So, as it looks, this P. Diddy has some issues that we are going to see soon unfold, I'm sure. He's been trending. This story is getting major attention. And of course, you know, somebody has to act. So we have went from Carlee scamming Russell. We've talked about ICE. And we have talked about Tupac and P. Diddy. But last but not least, Jada Pinkett Smith. And so, you know how that thing was going. Other people have speculated on what was going on there for a while. And I guess, finding out that everything they did was pretty much just a sham, a scam, for no reason. Haven't been together for 7 years and made just the biggest deal about nothing now. Now that we are able to see it for what it is, I mean, just made a huge deal. The Chris Rock situation. I mean, so this is another, I guess, theme of this show, or this particular broadcast, could be these lying individuals. Because we have Carlee Russell. Then we have P. Diddy. And now we have Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh, and we also had Joe Biden as well. And something else that puts things in so much more perspective when you say, oh, okay, well, Will Smith was defending his wife's honor and this, that, and the other. All of that. Now, when you put it in perspective, it makes sense on what kind of things were running through this man's mind. You've been perpetrating the fraud for this long, and then all of y'all are just out here one big old lie. This is when your own wickedness backfires on you in public, but you were doing everything in public. And I think at this point in juncture, there's no one around Jada Smith to tell her how narcissistic she's looking and how, I mean, this is insane. But nonetheless, she's the gift that keeps on giving.
Thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
right,
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
yes,
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
But in public, the couple who
that literally makes no sense at all. I mean, that is just absolutely. What brand are you protecting? And so with that being said, she also mentions that Chris Rock tried to shoot his shot while they were, he was listening to the rumor, heard the rumors, and so he tried to shoot his shot. So it does kind of make this look a little different when you look at it now.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
Kind of puts things in different perspective now, doesn't it? Good Lord. I'm just saying. And all of the ways that this woman has embarrassed this man. I mean, she has done this dude filthy. Absolutely filthy. But here's the other thing. They represent the black couple. And they were playing that position for so long. And they're not really that. They're far opposite from that. So what can you take away from that? That the perception of relationships that they were keeping for the last 7 years as a lie was important. How much more is entertainment just that much of a lie? But yet and still they're put in place to perpetrate, basically put a modern spin on Leave It to Beaver, or these fictitious couples, and they want to give you that idea that it could really happen for you. It can really happen in real life. See, they did it. Meanwhile, that's a business arrangement. Also, such an arrangement that they didn't tell you that they are literally living separate for 7 years. There are people who got married and divorced within the time that they have been apart. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We done been through a pandemic. 2016. That's a while ago. And then to make a big to-do and have everybody invested in what now is just mess. You got the house. He was living in behind their house in the guest home and all of this madness. It's like, well, what does that mean? And I never understood, like how she has went out to embarrass this dude is just beyond belief. Really beyond belief. And now she's revealing, to add insult to injury, is that Tupac proposed to her when he was in jail. I mean, this, like I said, the gift that keeps on giving. You talk about a woman who is really showing you that she never gave. I mean, because think about, man, she's just doing Will wrong. And that was the going story for a while here. But now when you realize how negative it really, truly is, man, And this is what Will Smith subjected himself to, huh? Well, brother, I don't know what to tell you, but let's hear this. You get this in there. Where is that? Then on stage here. It's a beast. Why isn't that? Oh man, this is tripping. What's going on, StreamYard? Okay, I was there. All right, so we're there. Okay, let's go here. So we change. All right, there we go. Now let's take a listen, shall we?
A lot of people might not know, but he proposed to you while he was in jail.
I talk about this in the book when I go to see him in Rikers, when I wrote about that in the book, and when I had to talk about it, speak my words for the audible version of the book. That was probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in, and having to leave him there. And he was in bad shape. And so when he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. And I knew at that time that he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was going to do anyway. He didn't have to marry me to do time. Right? I'm here.
I see why we love.
Wow. 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 You talk about she don't give a F. Oh, she don't give a flying parachute F. I mean, good grief. And then she's getting choked up. Just talking about Tupac and wow. And this is what Will Smith been married to all these years. Man. I mean, ooh-wee.
Love you.
And then to, like, he needed a rock. Because of our friendship and because of everything we had been through together, he just wanted to feel that solidified foundation. You know, because I promise you, he would have married me and divorced me as soon as his ass left jail. He would have.
Right.
I'll be real with it.
Right. Because so many people in that position don't have support.
Right.
None at all.
None. You know?
And he got the best.
Right. He was just like, look. And I just think it was the mind state that he was in. You know, he wrote me this long letter. And I think even before Pac went to jail, he was starting to trend. He was starting to shift in a certain manner.
Good or bad?
Good. Really good. And I think that for him, he just felt like, okay, if I can.
Wow. So Pac proposed to her. Wow. You know, wow. What can you say? I mean, and not. It's just interesting timing, you know. What made you bring that up? But I guess when she said she did it in her book, I guess all of these things were going to come out. So, ooh-wee. Wow. Interesting, though. That's all I can say. 'Cause how much does Will Smith look like a fool right now? Somebody said, Let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this. Oh, this is horrible. Okay, so let's pretend. All right. Explains a lot. Why Jaden Smith always looks hurt, sullen, and sad. Imagine trying to keep a family secret and being torn at the same time by loyalty to either your mom or your dad. And look at the video. Turn the sound. I'm sure there's music to this, but why is he looking so sad and down? Like, what's going on here? And now you're crying? He doing crying TikToks? Oh man, so confusing. So confusing. Why the hell is he crying? I'm so confused. I guess maybe there's something to that. The get on TikTok and cry challenge. I don't know. So you have red table talks for nothing. That was just a big waste of time. And I mean, well, I guess not really for them, because for them it ends up being business. But like I'll ask, what does it do for those who we're looking to them like as some kind of relationship goal? And now you have people, oh, well, we ain't gonna settle. We ain't gonna settle high, and you want women to settle. Do you know what type of settling you have to do to lie to the public and everybody else and have your children living a lie that you guys are literally together when you have clearly been separate for 7 years? So then when the whole August Alsina thing pops up, it kind of makes sense now that, well, oh, entanglements. Well, yeah, because you were over here living your best single life while lying to the public. So it didn't make sense to the public. Wow, what's going on? Is there trouble in Will and Jada land? Ain't no trouble at all because they ain't together. So, but everybody else, like who, because you got to remember, a lot of people are visual. So when you see that, I mean, the power couple and the power dynamic, man, I just look at how this plays. Because now they weren't living what they were selling. That's the truth of it. Now, I wonder how many more people will still try to sell that. But no, this was show business. And for the most part, y'all got played by actors and actresses. Because that's the name of the game. Because when you see something like this, this is horrible. I mean, this is horrible. You have no respect for this man, even in parting. As you know, Will Smith down bad as Jada Pinkett Smith calls Tupac her soulmate. And it starts, like I said, when she over there talking about Tupac on a recent interview, she starts choking up. Nothing going on with Will that sparks that type of emotion out that woman. So that say a lot. And there's a lot to examine here out of, like, I would say for anybody who is looking to them and saying, oh, okay, I gauge a relationship based on that, or not, but we do know that there are people who've done that. And so with that being said, you might want to evaluate what was really there versus what they sold you. Then the next thing you should do is figure out why. Why was there such a great difference? And it's because they didn't sell you reality. They sold you a lie instead. Why sell a lie? Because that's what they believed the brand that they were pushing was. They were pushing the fairy tale couple, power couple line that it comes with great sacrifice, as you see. So when you talk about settling, got to keep in mind what settling. I mean, are you really addressing settling? Because what Jada Pinkett Smith has been doing is settling. Oh, she's not the only one out there. Because this is business as well. And they ain't too far gone to know that. So they play their position, they play their role, and they play their business and don't do nothing overtly outrageous. In the meantime, what they have done and have and able to do is be in a position to manipulate folks on what they perceive as the dynamics between black men and black women. And that's what a lot of people like that are used to do. So with that being said, this final clip that I'm going to play is a sister just kind of letting you know what you should be looking out for.
But when I tell you social media is amplifying the divide between black men and black women, pages like Justin LA Boy, pages like Spiritual World, who take the most toxic messages from Twitter and all other platforms, put them in one space that are purposely perpetuating narratives that we really aren't interacting with in the real world. You go on a date, you're not having these conversations, but you go on social media and these conversations are constantly repeated, and none of it is solution focused. It's all what they do, what's not being done, and it's not productive. It's not pushing us forward, and what's happening is we are internalizing a lot of trauma that does not belong to us.
Say it again.
So we are internalizing a lot of relationship trauma that does not belong to us. So let's say for me personally, right, I've never been cheated on. But let's say I go and I follow a bunch of women who talk about the fact that, oh, I've been cheated on, all these niggas cheat, they steady cheating. I'm going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, niggas, they all cheat. That's all they do. And I'm not self-aware enough to really understand that that's not even my shit. That's not my baggage. That's somebody else's baggage. So one thing we really have to do is learn how to detach from some of these messages that we are constantly internalizing.
And there it is. Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. One of the things y'all got to do is come out of her. Can you dig it? Yeah, buddy. You got to detach, deprogram, and realign, readjust, because what they have sold you is a bill of goods. It is snake oil. It is not of any value. So treat it as such. We say carry yourselves and govern yourselves accordingly. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this has most definitely been a solid weekly wrap up. And I hope we covered all the bases that you needed to get covered tonight. And like that sister, shout out to that sister who just told it like it was, and understand that. And here's the other thing about the groups that she mentioned. Those groups that she mentioned, all of those sites are by non-foundational Black Americans who have vitriol for us. So, yeah. So, again, thank y'all for tuning in on this weekly wrap up. And, again, we have to guard our culture. And we also have to guard our community, which number one, like she said, you have to deprogram out of these divisive tactics. Now, when like talking about the protect Black women, it worked when it was useful to attack Black men. But as soon as a Black man came up with a law to protect Black women, the Black women on Fox Soul sought to shoot it down. So they would literally shoot down something that puts them in the center, in the key focus, and then turn around and tell Ice Cube that his plan for Black America doesn't say anything about Black women. The very same panel. So if y'all want to know about taking any type of advice in the future, especially political, from Cocktails with Queens, And so, because that really just does not look right. That does not look right at all. And pretty soon, we're going to see some more. We're going to see some more division tactics here. But nonetheless, this is it's very great that it's happening. Here's another thing too. Going back to the very beginning of this broadcast, we talked about ICE. And with that, 5.7 million. You got millions of illegals running around unchecked. And it's so crazy that it's right after all of these mandatory jabs, and which is the very first video I played, which was talking about how people were discriminated against because they didn't have the jab. All of this stuff is coming by way of this Biden administration, even down to the Black community gender divide, funded by the DNC and by other powers that be that probably also have close ties to the conflict that America is about to start shelling out more billions to. So if you think that this is something that Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, the descendants of American chattel slavery, if that is something that you believe or perceive we should give any energy to and think you're going to shame us, well, first off, this is what you
Buck dancing, shuffling, scratching, bootlicking, bamboozling, Uncle Tom Negro.
And at the end of the day,
and I'm telling you as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep for good. And
So we all know that any Black person say, man, all of these ICE men, but still, we should be, again, remember what I showed you earlier earlier from Dr. John Heinrich Clark. Who benefits mostly? We fall into their traps, and one of those traps is mostly Hispanics. Always remember that. Remember that. And so for those of you who remember that, understand that, know that, and still are pushing for us to say, let's worry about everyone else and not worry about us. Well, you Sambo. While thousands and millions they come over here and, oh man, it's on and popping. It is what they say it is. Thanks to some people say, word on the street, Catholic Church. And now they calling back to South America, to Venezuela. Hello? And after all of that, you still want us to just vote blue no matter who and vote blue down ballot. Well, I speak for myself, beatzillapdx official. beatzillapdx official show. Those of you in the chat, the new and the grassroots, the new black media, voices of new black media. And I think it would be safe to say I speak for all parties involved when I say that we absolutely proudly dedicate this song to you black bisexuals.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you want to support this broadcast, you definitely can by first hitting the like button, hitting the thumbs up, and sharing this on your social media, or even emailing it, texting it, sharing it every medium that you can. And then also, if you'd like to do it financially, you can do so by way of CashApp, $beatzillapdx. That is CashApp, $beatzillapdx. And of course, we have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. So with that being said, we are rolling up out of here, family. Hopefully y'all have a blessed and prosperous, safe weekend. And always keep your 3 smooth stones at the ready, because you ain't got no friends out here. And this is your
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
So always be prepared to use the stone of truth at all times. So stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a
When
blessed
you know
week.
who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes. Right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knocked out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.